Magandang umaga. Ang pagalan ko ay Keith Madison, and this is Keith and Kaye, my little Philipina. I'm Keith, and Kaye is still in Philippines. We're waiting for our I-129F to be approved, so she can come out here and join me. Mahal kita, baby, if you're watching, always. Gusto ko kung gustapan. Why I don't drink alcohol. You know, once you're young, and certain traumatic things happen in your life, you'll never forget. You may forget things you've said or certain things that's happening, but if certain things happen to you in your life, you'll never forget. Well, that happened to me at the age of 7 years old. My mother had a friend that came by every Saturday, and when he came by, he'd always had this big sack with him, and he'd come in and he would rudely cut off the cartoons I was looking at and put on this music. It was jazz at the time. I didn't like it then, I like it now, but he'd put that on, and then he'll go to the kitchen area, him and my mother, and he'd pull this bottle out. I'll never forget how the bottle looked. It was a bottle with a man driving an ox cart with grapes hanging out the back. And they start drinking. And I would say about maybe 10 to 15 minutes later, he started fighting her. He started hitting her. He got very violent. Very violent. And she'd be screaming and holler, and I'm sitting there listening to that. And I get so upset and enraged, I'd run over there and grab him and kick him and punch him, and he'll push me away, and I'm biting and kicking, trying to protect my mother, you know. And he would tell me, get away from me, boy, and kick me and all that. But it was something that I had to do to protect my mother. I was 7 years old. And it seemed like this went on forever. Every Saturday he'd come over. And the whole routine started over again, you know. And I hated this man. I had so much hatred in my heart at a young kid at that age, 7 years old. I had hatred in my heart for him. And it was so strong, I just couldn't stand him at all. One day he took me to the store with him. He made me go to the store with him and carry the sack back. And on the way down the hill, we lived in Rose Hill, on the way down the hill, he would hold me by the back of my shirt and kick me in the butt and say, hurry up, boy, until we got to the house. And then we got to the house, him and my mother start drinking. And the same old thing again. They're fighting, and she's screaming, and I'm running up there, leave my mama alone, and beating him up and kicking him. And that was a very traumatic thing for a kid my age, you know. So finally, one Saturday, he didn't come by. And I've always sat right there waiting for him to come. One Saturday he didn't come by. And the next Saturday, same thing. So I asked my mother, where's Dan? His name was Dan Wright. He's deceased now. I said, where's Dan at, Mom? He's not coming by? And he told me, well, guess what? He got killed in a bar. He got drunk and tried to attack a person, and the person stabbed him. And I mean, it's just a relief that came over my body. I was happy this man actually got killed. I was just 7 years old. I was happy. he got killed. And I used to always tell myself, whatever in that bottle that makes people act like that, I ain't never gonna touch it. To me, this is a warning. God warned me at a young age. He showed me what alcohol can do to you. And, you know, as time went on, my mother had friends come by, and every time they have a beer or something, they were good guys, had a beer or something, and when she leave the room, I would walk by and look at him. I said, "You hit my mother, I'm gonna kick your, you know what, you know." And I'd always chase him away. That was when I was a teenager at that time. And somehow I felt guilty because I think I'm to blame for my mother never having to get married again or having a man, because I always chase them away if they have alcohol. I used to couldn't stand to be around people that have alcohol, you know. I thought it always makes you violent. I found out later sometimes you makes you happy or sad, but as I got older, I found that out. But as a kid, I thought everyone that drinks alcohol, they would act crazy and start fighting. And I had many friends that died from alcohol. Cirrhosis of the liver or some other disease they had in them, and relatives that died from that, you know. But I never drank alcohol, and it's hard for people to believe. They say, "You never drank alcohol in your whole life?" I said, "No, I never had." And I thank God I never had. I'm not down on anybody that does drink alcohol. If that's what you chose to do, then go ahead and do it. More power to you. But all I can say, if you drink, control it. Limit your drinking, you know, and please don't drive and drink at the same time, because you will lose all coordination, you know. And that's sad. It's very sad to see someone that gets drunk and have an accident and kill themselves or somebody else. And you know, I had friends that stopped drinking because I didn't drink, and the crowd they were around that drank, but my influence rubbed off on him how strong I was, and he quit drinking. You know, he thought he had to do it when he was in that group, but when I was hanging around with him, I didn't drink when they offered it to me. And I don't think he really wanted to drink, but he stopped. And I just can't touch alcohol. And I thank God every day for showing me that at a young age that prevent me from drinking. Now this is my story. My story, I'm telling you, you know. But I know many people drink alcohol out there, you know, and that's their business. But I don't touch this stuff. And I never have touched this stuff. And don't intend to touch alcohol. So, that's my little story about alcohol. I got many more stories to tell you in future videos. So if you like this, subscribe below, and I'll see you on the next video. Paalam.